welcome back to the channel. I'm just going to do a follow-up video on a churchyard that I've just been to. The amount of stones that have been pushed over by animals who don't care about anybody else but themselves. And there's a tree fell over and there was an old man who couldn't get round the path, so I told him I'd go and get my sons and come back down and cut the trees down and put it all over the way, and that's what we did. So I'm now going to go back down and show you the result of what we did, and see if the fella's come back and see if he's happy. You just have to bear with us until we get down there in about 2 minutes. I went on about the North Tyneside Council a bit much, but yeah, they deserve it. Because the simple fact is, they should look after the churchyard, and they don't do nothing. So I'm going to show you what needs done, what needs repaired, and if they're actually going to do anything at all, which I doubt it, because that's the way this council are. They'll do nothing to help anybody. I'm just going to go up here. This is the churchyard. I'm going here because we're busy doing the trees. But there's the house, and there's the buildings there that are going to be redone because somebody's bought all the buildings and they're redoing them all. So I'm more than happy to help out if possible. I'll get you back in a minute when I'm out and on the road. Right, I'm out of the car and I'm going up to the cemetery now. Now this is a place of peace, as you can see. But there's another one of the buildings. That building there in front of her has been done up from something that was like that. So the people that's doing it are absolutely doing a fantastic job. But I'm not going to walk on any of the stones. I'm going to walk up the road and just document the stones that have been thrown all over. Do you know where your kids are? Look at this. That there, that should have been on top of there, but we'll see. As you can see, there's one and there's one without it. Yeah, there's the start of it. Can't blame kids for that because it could have been the wind, that one. But I'm going to take you around the whole cemetery. I mean, you know, even back then when people were getting buried, these stones are not cheap. And where in the world is there a place where it says, yeah, go into a cemetery and just push all the stones over? That'd be a good laugh. It's not a good laugh though, is it? Yeah. Because this is a place of sanctity. Is that what we call it, sanctity? It should be left in peace. Yeah, now there, you see, the stones that are old, yes, they come apart. But look at here. There's still people come to visit their loved ones. Died 3rd of July 1991, so people still got loved ones alive that are in here, you know. I'm telling you something now. You'll go a long way to find a place that is as outstanding as this. I did take it to a South Shields one a while back now. Hold on, there's somebody walking their dog, I think. I'm going to have to put it on pause till I get past. Let's see what happens. That's just somebody taking his dog for a walk in the peaceful grounds. I'm going to show you something here. Wind or pure vandalism. Look at man, yeah, that is old. I mean, how? But this, yeah, it's old. But is this deserved? I don't think so. People are resting in here, man. I don't know what's wrong with people. Sorry to keep boring you with things, like, but I don't find places like this boring. Find them tranquil, interesting. If it was vandal free, yeah, I would say it's great. I could walk around here day and night. It makes no difference to me. If you're not safe here, you're not safe anyway. So, we'll see. I had to cut it off there for a minute because I didn't want somebody that doesn't want to be on camera. And look at them. Yeah. Look down here. Yeah. I'll give you 1 out of 10 for cutting the grass, but nothing out of 10 for fixing damaged stones. I shouldn't even need to say who you are, but you're North Tyneside Council. What are you going to do about all these stones? If you want, you can always leave a comment below and give us permission, and I'll get some of this work done. We've cut the tree away from the path that people were walking on because they couldn't get past otherwise. If you've got any complaints about trees getting cut down, look at this one. That is beautiful. Look at it. I'm going to walk back a bit. That's 19. Right. Let's have a look at the date. 1910. Joseph Duffy. Jane Duffy. 1984. Aye. Well, everybody's got a right to be at peace rather than get turfed all over like this. I just don't know how people can do it, you know. I mean, kids have got nothing to do. Give them something to do instead of doing this. Don't get us wrong, I'm not blaming all these damage on the kids, because it isn't the kids. But you can tell which ones are being vandalised. If you can't tell, there's something wrong with you. But this is just a follow-on video where I done just earlier on. Same yard, same churchyard, and we're doing the full outline this time. I'll tell you something, the peace and quiet is deafening. Yeah, look at it. People who obviously have put the ashes of their loved ones by the tree. If you look there, you see, you know, people have, look at this, people have thrown, I don't know if people have done it, but I'm going to pick them up. There you go, kiddo. There you go. Might have been the wind, that, but it's not that I don't trust kids, but when you put a kid or a bunch of kids in a place like this, there's only one outcome: damage. I mean, some of these are 100 years old. 1989. I don't want to put the names on, but I have it. Look, there's another one. 1964 at the bottom, 1942 and 1930. Full family. That one must be. Now this one, I want to have a look at this one. I want to make sure I'm not walking on the graves. Yeah, that's this way. Let's have a look. 1905. Margaret Timlin, 1905. Respect. But yeah, this is just documenting what's happening in the graveyards around the northeast. And I'll tell you something, I'm far from happy. But I'm going to go back to the one in South Shields and show you in the future, very near future, what a graveyard should look like. Now it's looked after. Yes, there's a 10, 20, 30 times more graves than the one in South Shields, but it's still a graveyard. Yeah, James O'Brien, Mayor O'Brien, rest in peace, kid. 1998 and 1998. Yeah, my God, one died in February and one died in October, the same year. Oh God, so must have died. Let's be a little bit respectful when we're looking up here. Missed beyond measure. Oh, I think this is a child. 1953 to 1925, to 2025, sorry. 1970 to 2013. That's only, oh God, that's not very old. I couldn't work it out. I'm not going to put myself on the spot. Ada Townley Bell, 1996, you see. So this graveyard is still used. And I'm telling you now, there's people buried here who have still got family that are alive. You can see by many of the graves, but if the council or the vicar or anybody wants to get in touch for us to come and tidy, me and my two sons will come and tidy the yard up, and I'm sure they'll be happy to do it. They've just been up earlier on and chopped the trees down, which was going across the graves and the path, which I'm going to show you. But yeah, there's another entrance. Look how peaceful that is. Where are you going to get peace like this? There's some really old stones in here. Sorry about the jumping about and trying to dodge the trees. Look at that one fell apart. I think that's just the way it is. That's not vandalism. Look at this one. Edward Young Watson, 1914, age 56. Oh my God, that's no life, is it? Oh, thank you very much. I'll have to go for now. I can't believe that. Somebody just let the dog up a leader. They're going to do the business down there. No, that's wrong. Walk your dogs by all means. Don't let them off a leader to do their business on consecrated ground, God's sake. I really don't know what's wrong with people. Because you can see, this one's been forgot about. Maybe there's nobody alive to help now. But this one, obviously still coming. And that looks like a family grave. I'm not going to go into every one of them. But I don't know if I should tell him to get his dog on the leader. He might be allowed it, but if he's not going to pick the muck up like it looks like he hasn't. Look at this one. This one's had a battering. There's no yeah on this one. I can't see. Look at it. Oh. Has that been pushed over, or have they laid that down? I don't know. I wouldn't like to see. Look. This is the back end of the churchyard. I mean, that's a big one, isn't it? Yeah. You won't feel anything at peace is what you're doing here. Sorry if the camera's bobbling about, I'm just carrying my phone. But 1912, I say there's another one. That one could have a bit of cement put on the top and we could lift it on. You know, I couldn't lift that myself. But I think we'll come back and mark this one. I have to come back and try and put a bit of cement on and fix it. There's nobody else is going to do it, either. There might be no family left. But when was that? Let's have a quick look. 1912, 1937. Sorrow vanquished, labour ended. David Stephen of Wellington Quay, born, I can't say it, 1860, entered into rest 15th of November 1912. That's good condition for that age. But yeah, you can see you see at the bottom, that's starting to bend over. Nobody's pushed that over. I think it's just a weight. I'm not going to blame people if I haven't done it. But that one, I think, it's just been placed there because it's been fell over, however. 1942 and 1911. Sarah Dawson. Alright. Look at this. Oh man, they need help. I'm sorry I was a bit angry at the first video I did, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This council, look at. Does anybody think people deserve that? Because I tell you what, they don't. Like, there's some at the back there, and I'm not going to walk up because the graves are obviously, I don't know what they're playing at here. Like, there's a tomb here. I don't know if you see my video of Pilo. The cemetery there was babes in the bed. There's 3 kids died on the same day from the same family in a fire, I think it was, if I remember rightly. And the father was a stonemason, and he built them a 4-poster bed, and it's absolutely stunning. If you ever get a chance to go and visit it, it's just on the entrance as you go into the cemetery, just off the Heworth roundabout. You can't miss it. It's massive. The man must have been beyond himself. I'll just have to go. I'll have to pause the video because, in fact, no, I'm not. If you don't like what I'm doing, put your dogs on a leader. There. Just documenting all the stones. Look at these. These are quite ancient. 77 years. Yeah. Now these are Mary Ann Barris. Let's have a look. 1907. Right, that's the. Oh, look. 1853. I'll just zoom in. I'm not going to step on the graves. Where is it? Yeah. Where's it? 1853. Oh, 1897. Sorry. There is an 1853 somewhere because I've just seen it. Anyway, right, I'm not going to babble on about it. But you can see that, look at someone 1868. Right, you can see that one. 1868. Yeah. But yeah, Heron, there's a beautiful one. That is beautiful. 1906. Hey, people must have had a lot of money in them days to get these done like this, but they weren't as dear then as what they are now. 1884, isn't that just outstanding? Look at it. 1884. Age 27-year-old. Oh my God. Oh God. And thank God there's no kids ones in here. I've never come across any anyway. I'm just going to walk between here. I don't believe there's any stones out there. George Martin, 1849. These are really old. It doesn't say 1884, that one. What's the council? Apparently I spoke to the bloke there. All these stones are tipped over and look like they've been pushed over and turned round. It's not. The council came in with a machine, so apologies to North Tyneside Council for that. But you know, this one You haven't lifted that one, have you? No. But they've lifted the stones, they've brought heavy machines in. You didn't lift that one. You must have done that. But like I say, I'm getting off track. They brought the machines in to lift the big stones because you couldn't lift them by hand. To lift them and put them safely. That's after, the bloke said that's after people have been in, pushed the stones over. So with them pushing them over, they're not safe. So the council come in with a machine. Okay. Why didn't you not just put that back up on top of there and cement it? I'm almost sure you could put a bit of cement in there. Right, I'm going to walk down here. Oh, there. William Clayton Watson, who died at Willington Quay on February the 19th, 1905, aged 65 years. I mean, in 1905 isn't that a good age to be living for then? It's the illnesses that were about. I will be done. 1906. Take a picture of it and have a look at it if you like. I'm going to show you. There was a man, like I say, an old fella before, walks up here to go and visit the graves and stuff like that. Yes, the old, I think it's his mother or his father, but some relative. And one of the trees that fell down in the cemetery covered the gravestone and the path. So I went down and got my two sons, and they've come up without any quarrel. They've just come up and cut the trees down that were covering the path. I'll show you where they were. Well, look at these. What's the age of that? Oh, I can't see it. I don't know what that is. GGC. I don't understand that. This is an old one, isn't it? Or is it? Thy way, not mine, O Lord. 1902. Age 30. Good God, man. They're just bit kids, aren't they? There's another one. You must have a contract for these. As we look, the stone, 1921. I think 1848 is the oldest one I've seen. 1894 that one, and nobody's bothered with that. Look at the size of these. They're like beds. But anyway, so like to this one. Are you trying to tell me you couldn't repair that? I don't believe you. 1893 this one. You know what it is, what will happen here? It'll get, all the stones will get taken away and they'll build houses on it, like they try to do with South Shields. But I've done everything I can to stop that. The memory of the just is blessed. Hold on. 1940. Esther Snowden. I wonder if that's related to Bobby. Let's have a quick look up here. I don't want to be. I mean, that's a tomb. You cannot. 1906. You cannot walk on there. 1922. That one at the back there. But this path here was all covered with a fallen down tree, and we've been up. The two lads have cut the tree down, and now people can walk around. There's the tree that's been cut down. The old fella just wanted to be on the path so he could walk around. I believe something here is these here, not to get off track, but these here I think are tombs for families, family plots. Are extravagant. But let's go and have a look. We cut the trees down and we'll put them up there. So if the council have got anything to say, just get in touch with us and I'll tell them why we put them there, and why they didn't pick them up, or why they didn't cut them down. Someone could have tripped over them. Right, I'm going to walk round. I don't know if people like these videos or not, but I'll tell you something now. The interest and things that go on in graveyards, churchyards, you wouldn't believe. You wouldn't believe the skullduggery that goes on. The one in South Shields was all cleared of stone. What they did was they deconsecrated it with a priest or a vicar or whatever, and then they took all the stones away and just put a path there. Oh, I think there's another one here. Look. Well, anyway, I can't touch that one yet. That's still attached to a tree. And it's not on the path. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can move it. Yeah. Trying to move it. If any of my relatives were in here, I wouldn't be happy with where they get tread. I'm sorry, like, but it is what it is. I'll tell you before I go, that house there, absolutely outstanding job they've done of that. It was like that when they started. Look at it now, they've built extensions on it and everything. And the bricks, I've spoke to the man, the stone bricks, the big bricks they built it with, were £30 each. So how much money have they spent on that? But they've bought that one, and they've bought that one through the trees. Let's just show you where the car is. They bought that one and they're going to make them into like houses. Do you know what? Appreciate that. At least if you've got people living there on site, you're less chance to get people coming in vandalising graves and doing things like the scumbags do. Okay. So I've had a full walk around the graveyard, and I don't know if you know what these are. These them white things there, them were there when the hearse was drawn by horse and cart, and they were that busy at the time they had to wait outside the church for the next funeral to go in. So they used to put the people in the coffins in there, one for that one and one for that one. That was to give them some dignity, so they didn't have to sit on the back of a horse and cart. They actually carried them inside until it was their turn to go into the churches. So I'll tell you what, I've never seen that before in my life, and I wouldn't have known until the builder of this, who's done all this, told us. Now we see where the garage door is there. From the garage door back, that wasn't there. They've just done a fantastic job, and I'll tell you what, whoever gets that house is going to be lucky. Right, so I'm going to finish my video now, but in a minute I'll get a close look. I'll get you a close look up to the, I don't know if that door's open. Yeah, I'll get past this car. Must still be here. But this is the place where they used to keep the funeral coffins when they were waiting to go in. And that's just like a passage. And I'm going to show you this. These were the two churches. They've been stripped out or rotted. But yeah, the same person who's done this house up here has bought all that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like when it's done. Thank you for looking. Bye.